case is in its place. And that's pretty much where it's gonna stay. Yeah, I can't see any reason why I want to move it at all. It's the top of it is leaning against the back of the wall. You probably can't see it, but I've got a couple of little blocks of wood under the front on the bottom corners, so it's going to naturally want to lean back. I didn't want it rocking back and forth on the carpeting, but I was noticing that the rails that come out from the back that the ship is going to sit on, they're a little bit rough on the top. And my original thinking was, well, I'll just put some masking tape on it, like this tape I've got here. It's almost the exact right width, just a little bit too narrow. And then I thought, well, it's not going to really hold it up enough from the wood. What if there's a little sharp piece along the edge? Because I didn't sand anything. Should have. And then afterwards I thought, hey, how about putting a piece of string along the top? It's about probably I guess a 32nd of an inch, would raise it up, and it's white. It'll blend in. No one's going to see it. So I'm going to just give that a try. When I was pulling my chair up to the table just a minute ago, I was reminded of a comment that one of the viewers made, and that was that when you stand up, the chair can roll back on you, and then you go to sit back down on it. Well, you know what can happen. It's not there. Well, the worst scare I've had in a long, long time was about 2 months ago when that exact thing happened. I had stood up, the chair had moved back a little bit more than I thought it did, and then when I went to sit back down on it, I was sitting on the edge of the chair, sort of. Well, you know how when a disaster is about to happen, everything starts to happen in slow motion, and you can see paramedics coming in, or maybe I can't get to the phone to call for help. All kinds of things flash through your mind. Yeah. Well, I had that experience about 2 months ago. I just thought I'd relate that because one of the viewers had commented to that effect. And I'm a little bit more careful now. I make sure that when I go to sit down, I look to make sure the chair is there. I'm at the age now that if I was to fall down, it could be a serious situation. Anyway, there's something else I want to talk about today that another viewer commented on. You probably didn't see it. It was in the comments from about 95 episodes ago, and it was where I drilled a little hole in the side of the funnel to put a piece of easy line through. You might remember that episode. And he was making a suggestion there, twisting wire and making a loop. It was a suggestion that a lot of people have made. And I'm going to try that today. I'm going to see if I can make a bunch of little loops. And well, enough talk. Let's get on with our string here. Okay, so here's my thinking. Why couldn't I just glue a piece of string? I don't know if it would have to curl around here like that, but it would lift the ship up, so it's not going to be touching anywhere on the wood. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do it off camera because it's too awkward to video doing something like this, but I'll show you afterwards what I've come up with. It does not take a whole lot to get me sidetracked, does it? A minute ago when I was editing out that last scene, I'm noticing sort of a blemish in the back of the case. Then I'm realizing that it's not a blemish, that's in the camera, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I got a piece of dust on my sensor. And then I'm realizing, well, it must be an awfully big piece of dust because it's covering an awful big area. Usually when I get a little piece of dust on my sensor, it's just a little tiny speck. But this is, as you can see, it's quite large here. Anyway, I thought, could it be that I have dust on the front of my lens? So I checked. Sure enough, it's so big you can see it here. And so you're wondering, well, how am I taking a shot of this if the lens is off? Well, I'm using a different lens, obviously. Okay, let's zoom in on that. Now, at first I was kind of worried that it could possibly be a little, paint splatter. And I thought, I hope not, because the alkali paint could possibly affect the coating that they usually put on the front of these lenses. But as you can see, it's not here. And it is so large, I don't even need the super macro. Now, there's dust all over this lens. But anyway, let's just get that off of there. It looks like a little piece of wood. Okay, hopefully our little dust blemish is gone. Here's what I've done. I CA glued one end of the string in here, waited for it to cure. I pulled it taut, glued it out here at the end, and then I nipped it off. And that's the last one. So what we've got now is a nice smooth string here that the hull can rest on, and it shouldn't scratch it. Now I suppose it could out here on the end. It's a little bit hard, but it feels smooth. These strings are a little bit taut, but not too taut. Now I hope you know that I dubbed that sound effect in. The strings didn't actually make that noise. Let's put the Bismarck on it, see how it looks. Okay, here I come. I have managed to get all the way from the back room to here without stumbling. Now, one thing you're going to notice is that the Bismarck is going to suddenly look a little bit smaller. That's the first time it's been in the case. Yeah. Okay, I'll move in a little bit. Notice how nicely the rigging stands out against the white background. Unless you're watching this on your cell phone. However, if you're watching it on your cell phone, thanks for watching. Well, it had been my goal to take some of this fine wire and twist it today into little loops or little fastening hooks that could be later mounted into the side of the hood when we get to do the rigging, but I think that's going to have to wait until tomorrow. I got two different types of fine wire here. I got this one here. That's from these strands here. This is probably going to be the one we're going to find is going to be the best. I think this other stuff is just a little bit too delicate, and it'll get bent over, and once it's out of shape it'll just be too hard to get it back into shape. Yeah, but that's going to have to be tomorrow, folks. Time got away on me. I know I said we were going to do this today, but I've got an idea of how to do it, and I think it'll work. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and all being well. Oh, well, we did get the Bismarck in its case, so that's that's a bonus. Anyway, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.